After talking to many doctors as well as thousands of patients in person, private, or on my YouTube channel, and also having 3 successful hair transplants myself, I have learned all of the best practices when it comes to hair transplant recovery. I will share with you most common mistakes people do after a hair transplant, as well as some best tips for you to take care of it. This will set you up for a successful recovery, of course, if the doctor have done everything correctly during the surgery. So if you stumble across this video just after your surgery, you're welcome. I've got you covered. Mistake number 1, scratching your freshly transplanted area. Look, you will get really itchy. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. It will be very difficult to resist scratching your transplanted area. During the first few days, it's very easy to simply pick your grafts with your nail. Just don't do this. They will simply die. Generally, there will be 2 times when you will want to scratch your transplanted area. That'll be during the day while you're wide awake, and during the night while you're trying to sleep. For daytime itching, just use some saline solution. And of course, ask your doctor if not provided already. Keep it in the fridge. Spray it cold every time you feel itching. This will relieve the feeling quite substantially. If you're still itching like crazy and you can't help yourself, just get some antihistamine. This medication generally will relieve severe itchiness in as quick as 30 minutes. But make sure to consult your doctor beforehand in case, it might negatively interact with other medication he has already provided. And for the nighttime, probably thinking, hey, what can I even do? Like, not sleep? Well, you'll not be able to really, because you'll be simply paranoid. But to help yourself and avoid scratching during the sleep, again, ask me how I know this. You can use this simple but very effective trick that I've got. Get yourself a rope belt, or anything similar for that matter, to tie your hands. Put the rope behind your back and try to lift your arms towards your head. If you can reach it, then tie them a little bit lower down the rope. Your goal is to have your hands tied freely enough so you don't feel like a prisoner. What the? But also not high enough so you would reach your head during the sleep. This will absolutely give you some peace of mind and a better sleep. Look, just try it yourself, and you can thank me later in the comments down below. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Mistake number 2, which is tied to the first one, is wearing incorrect clothing. We already established that after a hair transplant, you must not touch your freshly transplanted area at all. Like seriously, they're very fragile, easy to pick, and if you're gonna scratch them and they start bleeding, it literally results in death of the graft. You don't want that.
Leave them alone.
And to help you with this, you should wear only button-up or zip-up clothing. Basically, anything that doesn't have to be put over your head. It can be shirts, zip-up hoodies, cardigans, really everything will work. And do what I've done, at least 3 times already. Take 1 shirt a day for the first 7 days. Mistake number 3, going around the town. Rolandas, what the hell does this even mean? Well, it's for those of you who can't help themselves and want to go and explore the city. So I decided to go around a little bit to the shop. Let's put it simply. The more movements you do, the more potential chances you're gonna have to bump your head. You're gonna bump your head, your graft's gonna die. Your graft's gonna die, you're not gonna be happy. Will you care that you've seen the city after 12 months with a failed transplant? Probably not. And trust me on this one, you will absolutely be clumsy. Your head's gonna be numb. That's just how it is. Getting in and out of taxis, planes, etc. And even going around the town can quite literally present various dangers, that normally won't be. That's why I strongly recommend to book your hotel for at least 3 to 4 nights after your hair transplant, pack some entertainment, buy some food in advance, and sit inside your hotel. Why risking spending so much money, time, and most importantly, potentially wasting some of your very limited grafts? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Mistake number 4, stay away from the sun. I'm sure you've seen plenty of people after a hair transplant with quite a lot of redness in their transplanted area, which sometimes can last for many months, like yours truly. And sometimes people even get it nearly permanent. There are plenty of results from Spanish doctors where patients have a lot of redness even a year after a hair transplant. So how to avoid redness after a hair transplant? Should you wear a hat? Wrong! Use umbrella. Look, I get it. You might look a little bit stupid going around with umbrella, while it's sunny outside. Again, ask me how I know. But hey, smart people will not judge you. They will realize you're probably not that dumb And there is a reason why you're going around with umbrella. And I'm pretty sure after seeing your head, there won't be any more questions. From personal experience, after second and third hair transplants, I literally had pretty much no redness just after 1 month after the surgery, especially compared to my first transplant.
No! God, please, no! No!
The most crucial time would be the first week. That's when the skin has to heal the most. So during this time, try to stay away from the sun, just use umbrella. And only after a week you can confidently wear a hat. Trust me, after 7 days your grafts aren't going anywhere. It takes them up to 5 days to fully anchor in place. So stay away from a direct sunlight for at least the first month, or ideally until the redness completely disappears. The more time you spend under the direct sun, the longer your redness gonna persist. Mistake number 5, wearing a hat too early. As I mentioned in mistake number 4, you're safe to wear a hat after roughly 7 days. If you really want to, you can wear it after 5 days, but personally, I'll take it a little bit longer and just be on the safe side, because why risk it? But if you start wearing a hat immediately after a hair transplant, upon putting it on, wearing or removal, you have a very high likelihood of dislodging and even pulling out your grafts. If you dislodge them, they might even start growing in some weird directions, or simply die. I'm not even joking, I personally know a guy who quite literally put a baseball cap immediately after leaving the clinic after his hair transplant. Guess what happened after a year? Nothing grew. It's not a joke. Seriously, just don't wear anything. And look, I understand your concerns. People gonna be looking at you while you're walking around. But think about it this way. Most of the people will never see you again. So why bother? Not to mention there is a high risk of seriously compromising your transplant. Just don't do it. And this goes to all kinds of headgear. Fishing hats, baseball caps, head wraps, beanies, helmets. I know you out there thinking about this. If you want to learn more from my experience, simply check out this playlist where I documented every single step, day by day, for the first 2 weeks after my transplant. Set you up for success.